Coping with Tre Tailor, giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Coping.
Hey there. Thank you again so much for joining us for Coping, hosted by me, Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we will always be coping with something. Today, we're coping with Veterans Day. On this day where we commemorate and honor those who suffered, bled, and died for us, those who served in all branches of the military, we thought we would give you information that is not often accessible for veterans. That's right. There are not only health benefits, but other types of benefits that veterans need, want, and deserve, and they don't have access to it. Board certified physician and veterans specialist, Dr. Nicole Edwards joins us. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Tre. You know, I love to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your support, girl. We're going to talk more with Dr. Nicole about veterans benefits this Veterans Day coming up next. But first, your COVID community updates. Hey, don't forget, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you will see information about SCD, where to get your COVID testing, your COVID shot. Yes, that's still a thing. And also flu shots. Also, you'll find that information where you can get the 5 free rapid self-tests by logging on to covidtest.gov. COVID vaccines for veterans. We're going to talk about that more today at the VA. Plus the retail outlets where you can get a vaccine and a test, including Kroger, Walgreens, and CVS. That includes the CVSs that are located in Target stores. And don't forget that you can get a free ride to get your vaccine and test at the Comet Bus System, their main location at the corner of Sumter and Laurel Streets in Columbia, South Carolina. You'll also see information about online registration help at Get Set Up. If you or someone you know is technologically challenged and having a hard time getting their COVID vaccine or their test set up, you can call Get Set Up, and they will help you with that. COVID funeral reimbursement, that's still going on. FEMA is still giving reimbursements if you lost a loved one due to COVID, and other financial services, including SC Bar Association and SC Legal Services. They have a toll-free number and website for rental and mortgage help. Lexington County has a bill assistance program. SC Housing and Dominion Energy have a rental and utilities assistance program, because there are still people that really need some financial help. Also, don't forget that student loan forgiveness, that website is still up and available, and you can still apply. And don't forget that if you or someone you know is having a challenge coping, the South Carolina Department of Mental Health has a 24-hour assistance line called SC Hopes. You are watching Coping with Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. We are streaming live on the Tailor Made production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow, and get notifications when we go live Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council, and also on Thursday and Friday. We're streaming live on our YouTube channel. We would love for you to subscribe to that. There you can find 3 years worth of information, interviews, and content to help you cope with whatever you're coping with. We also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Today is Veterans Day, and we are paying tribute and honoring those who were in the military for years and years and years by doing a special show on veterans benefits. Dr. Nicole Edwards is a board-certified family medicine physician and veterans disability claims expert, and she is a specialist in veterans health care. She's got a new book, Navigating Choppy Waters. It's a guide to understanding and maximizing veterans disability claims. Coming up, we're going to give you a chance to win that book. We'll tell you more about that. But first, Nicole, thank you again so much for joining us today. It's unfortunate that this is even a thing, that veterans are entitled to benefits, but for some reason they're not getting it. What's Absolutely. The problem? What's the disconnect?
Well, a lot of disconnect is that veterans, a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. Okay. And unfortunately, when veterans get out of the military, sometimes they're in a rush to get out. They just want to get out, right? Mm-hmm. They just want to be done. And sometimes they're also discouraged from certain, talking about certain things and discussing certain conditions and problems. Because the VA, the government has to pay them. Okay. The bottom line is, if they had an injury while they were in active duty, and that injury or medical condition continues to the present day, the government has to pay them what's called service connection. All right. So service connection means you had an injury or a medical condition in active duty. You have it now to the present day, and then they have to pay you for that. And they break down the ratings and the percentages based off of how it affects your ability to work later on. I get veterans all the time who are like, oh, I hurt my knee in the service. Right. Well, the VA really only gives you about a 10% rating for a knee injury. Okay. And they're like, but my knee hurts. Yeah, but you can still work with knee pain.
Right,
okay?
right.
However, if you're having migraines, okay, and what we have found is that it's reported that 70%, and I think that's underreported, 70% of veterans actually have migraines during and after active duty. You can't work with the migraine. I get migraines myself. Okay.
Right.
I'm not a veteran. I get migraines. When I get migraines, I have to cancel my patients. I can't be in front of my computer. I can't talk. I just got to go lay down in a dark, quiet room. So because of that, I'm not able to work when I have a migraine. They give you a 50% rating for a migraine versus a 10%. So I get all these veterans who are like, oh, my knee. And I'm like, yeah, but let's talk about these migraines because I know you got them. Okay. Because 77% of veterans have migraines. So, but again, a lot of veterans don't know about the makeup of the service conditions and the service connection. I'll even say this, a lot of the organizations that are out there to help veterans with their service connections, they also don't know the ins and outs. It's a whole lot of legalisms and legal stuff going on. I get a lot of lawyers that come to me and they say, are you an MD, JD? And that's a doctor and a lawyer. And I'm not. I've just been studying this long enough that I understand the legal parts and the medical parts that go together. But unfortunately, the people who are even out there to help the veterans, they don't understand all of it themselves either. And so they're getting a lot of misinformation. Oh, my cousin Junebug that works down at the VA told me I should go put this claim in. Well, honey, you can't put that claim in because you don't have that problem, right? And so what I do is I help veterans. I start off with a consultation and I say, let's go over your history. Let's figure out what did you have during active duty that you still have now.
Right,
and then
right.
The other thing that veterans run into the problem is they've been taught to man up, right? They don't go and they don't complain. They get the headache. They don't talk about it. Their knee hurts. They push through. Their stomach hurts. They push through. They're getting these weird symptoms. They don't go tell anybody about it. Well, guess what? If you're not seeing a doctor actively currently, you can't get service connection for it because it has to be something that happened in active duty and is continuing to be documented now. So I get a lot of veterans who, because they've been always taught to kind of be quiet and mum's the word, they don't go to the doctor. They don't make complaints. And so when you don't make a complaint, a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
That's right. That's right. Dr. Nicole Edwards is a board certified family medicine physician and veterans disability claims expert and specialist in veterans healthcare. Today, we are talking about veterans benefits. You know, Nicole, it sounds like, and this is unfortunate, that veterans are relying on the government, the branch of the service, to have told them upon leaving, okay, here's your package, or here's what you get, and here's somebody you call, but that's not happening.
Nope, they're not getting any guidance on what to do when I discharge. And so a lot of times they don't know. They don't even, I talked about, and then you also have to understand, because there has been a negative connotation and a negative history of the VA system. And certain VA systems are notoriously not as good as other VA systems. And so people have a distrust of going to the VA. And so they do that. And once you don't trust someone, then you're not going to go and search for the help. And then they feel like, well, everyone's against me and no one's in my corner and no one's fighting for me. And a lot of times they're getting denied for these benefits not because somebody's against them, but because they're not requesting the right benefits, or they're not going about it in the right way. And like I said, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people out there who are trained and well-versed and who take the time to help. They're trying, but they don't always have the knowledge that they need in order to help correctly.
Are there certain benefits that you're seeing over and over again that veterans are entitled to and they're not getting?
Absolutely. So a lot of times with the, so when you have medical problems, you can go to the VA for your healthcare, your medical healthcare. It's no cost if you're 30% service connected. Okay. But you have to be at least 30%.
And
There
what
might
does
be
that mean? And I guess if you're a vet, you know that.
well,
It's a
and that's
layperson.
the sad part. Some of them don't know.
Right.
Some of them don't even know. So, service connection again is when the VA gives you a benefit because you had a medical problem in the active duty. It
Okay.
continues now, and then you get what's called a C and P. When I first talked to a veteran, he's like, "Can you help me get my C and P?" And I was like, "C and P." They call it. They don't even. C and P stands for compensation and pension. The
Yeah.
compensation means they're paying you. Pension is the disability
It's your
portion.
disability.
Right. And so when you get, like, for example, if you went to sick call about your knee, you twisted your knee in the service, and now you have problems now, you get service connection for that. So once you get 30% of service connection, you can be seen at the VA. Okay. But what about those veterans who are not getting the 30%? Where do they go for their care? Well, they can still go to the VA. But a lot of times they have to, it gets complicated. So a lot of them, because they don't know about it, they're not going.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start off by going and getting registered. They don't even know how to do that a lot of times. But unfortunately, a lot of the benefits that are out there, they don't know about. For example, like I said, the compensation and pension is a huge one. Sometimes you didn't even know that you could get paid for stuff. Did you know, most veterans don't know, if you have chronic allergies, chronic sinus infections, you can get service connection for that. If you're having acid reflux, if you're having irritable bowel syndrome, alternating diarrhea and constipation, it's not just about your hurt knee or your hurt back. Okay. Migraines is a huge one. Sleep apnea, heart conditions, diabetes. Here's another one, a big one that a lot of female veterans don't know about. If you had irregular cycles while you were in the military and they treated you for it, and you still have that now, maybe fibroids, something like that, you can get paid for that.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
Yeah, because they're like, well, that didn't happen because of the military. No, but it was treated and diagnosed while you were in, and you still have it now. You got to get paid for that.
Right.
And people don't understand how it all works. Like,
Yeah.
what are the things that I can get paid for? So that's what they come to me for initially. For me to even say, these are the things that you qualify for.
Yeah.
Erectile dysfunction.
Oh, wow.
You can get paid. You can get paid for erectile dysfunction. Okay. If we can link it back to because of something in the military, you can get paid for that.
And when you say, Dr. Nicole, get paid, that means you can, within your benefits, your financial benefits,
your
whatever
disability benefits, you can get paid.
Benefits.
You get for erectile dysfunction, you get $118 a month for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And all of these things, and probably most people have multiple things. Like you said, they've got the sinuses, they've got the migraines, they've got the twisted, they've got a myriad of things that could add up. It's $100 here, $200 here, $500 here, and you've got a pretty good, on top of whatever else you have, a pretty good disability.
Right. Well, honestly, veterans don't know this. Once you get to 100% without benefits, you're making $3,300 a month tax-free.
Oh, wow.
Tax-free. And once you get what's called 100% permanent and total, not only are you getting the payments, but you're also getting no house taxes, no car taxes. You get to go to the PX. You get to go to your family also gets health benefits. You get TRICARE for life. There's so many benefits that are available just by acknowledging what happened in the service and what's going on now. But veterans, you've got to be, again, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You've got to be going to the doctor now. You've got to be getting your things documented.
Yeah, Dr. Nicole Edwards joins us today. We are coping with veterans benefits. She is a board-certified family medicine physician, a veterans disability claims expert, and specialist in veterans healthcare. When we come back, we're going to talk about this healthcare for veterans and how it's different from mine and yours, and what benefits, what vets can do to get all of these benefits that Dr. Nicole says that they need and are entitled to. That and a copy of her book, your chance to get a copy of her book that is entitled Navigating Choppy Waters, a guide to understanding and maximizing veterans' disability claims. That and more coming up next on Coping with Tre Tailor. We'll be right back.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday lives, but when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow, won't turn on, on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall, 803-351-5821, 803-351-5821.
Hi, I'm Judy Gatson. As a news anchor, wife, and mom, I know how important it is to take care of our health. Part of taking care of our health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is a serious health condition and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. It's estimated that more than 1.3 million South Carolinians have it, and up to 90% have no idea. Take a moment to visit inittogethersc.org to take an online test to find out your risk of prediabetes and how to join a diabetes prevention program that takes the guesswork out of losing weight, eating better, and being more active. You can learn new ways to stay healthy and sustain those changes over time. When you join, you'll even get support from a trained lifestyle coach to help you set and achieve realistic goals. Go to inittogethersc.org, brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tre Tailor. You're watching Coping, hosted by Tre Tailor. We are giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we will always be coping with something. Please go over to the Tailor Made Production page on Facebook. That's the home of Coping. There you can hit like and share and follow, and find out when we go live Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council, and then on Thursday and Friday. We're streaming live on the YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and check out 3 years of information, interviews, and resources to help you cope. Also, we've got a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Hey, don't forget, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you'll see all types of resources for financial resources, COVID resources, testing, flu shots, all that, and so much more. Loan forgiveness, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and please post and share so we can get the message to the masses. Today, we are coping with veterans benefits. It is Veterans Day, and we are paying tribute to those who served in the military by sharing with you all of the benefits that veterans need and deserve, but are not getting. Dr. Nicole Edwards is a board-certified family medicine physician. She's a veterans disability claims expert and specialist in veterans healthcare. Her new book, Navigating Choppy Waters, a guide to understanding and maximizing veterans disability claims, is out. And coming up, we've got a chance for you to win. A lot of great stuff that you covered today, Dr. Nicole, is in that book. I want to encourage people, if you're just joining us, to hit the rewind button so that you can get all of this great information if you're a veteran or know someone who is, because obviously, as you said, Dr. Nicole, there's a lot of money vets are leaving on the table, not only money, but benefits and services that they need and that they're entitled to.
Yep, a lot, not just the money. And I get a lot of veterans who say, they feel bad. They feel like they're taking the money from somebody who might be worse off than them. But here's the thing. All the money is there for all of you. So it's not this person's worse than me, or I'm not as bad as this person.
You're not taking nothing from nobody.
You're not taking nothing from nobody. You got to get what you deserve. You fought hard for this country. It's time for you to get what you deserve. Right. Yeah. And I try to explain that to all of them. You matter. So
you matter.
Get yours. It's yours.
How is veterans healthcare different than someone else's, like mine or yours?
Right. So technically, in general, veterans healthcare in general is the same. But what makes veterans healthcare a subspecialty is that veterans have certain medical conditions that are more prevalent in the veteran in the population. Right. So when you've been deployed, when you've been through training, when, of course, you've been through war, you're going to tend to have more health problems than the average typical civilian. For example, if you were in the Iraq, anywhere in the Gulf War, Iraq, etc., you're going to have more problems with your sinuses, more problems with and allergies as well, more problems with your gut. So acid reflux, alternating diarrhea and constipation. We don't know exactly what it is. Something that was in the air? Was it in the dust? Was it in the burn pits? Was it in the sand? Was it in the food? But there's something that kind of throws off the inner makings of workings of the gut, the bowels. And so now they have this alternating diarrhea and constipation with cramping, and they didn't even know that it was abnormal, but it's there. And so it can be treated. We can diagnose it, we can treat it, and you get paid for it. Okay.
Wow.
There's also things, of course, PTSD is a huge one, but not just PTSD, the depression, the anxiety, and other coping mechanisms that unfortunately weren't there. Now is kind of messing up chronic insomnia, sleep apnea, migraine headaches. These are things that, again, lots of people have them, but it's more prevalent in the veterans population. What the other thing is, when you go to just your regular civilian doctor, a lot of veterans have been taught to be tight-lipped. And so at a doctor, unless you're at a doctor, who has time to kind of delve into all of these inner workings, they're not going to get all this information. Because even when I'm with my veterans, I got to sometimes pull it out of them. But I know what questions to ask because this is what I do every day. You're not going to necessarily get that from your regular doctor because a lot of doctors don't have extended time to get down to the bottom of it. And if you don't have a good rapport with a tight-lipped, stoic veteran, then they're not going to open up to you, unfortunately. So you've got to establish that rapport, be that person that they can trust, and then really get into the issues. Again, a lot of them don't know that they have.
Yeah, I think you make such a great point. One, because the doctor may not know the questions to ask, and as a person, I know just for myself, I might not be telling everything, to my physician, and whether it's malice or not, I'm just not remembering. So you do have to have someone that knows what to say, what to pull out of you, and you do have to have a rapport with your physician and feel like he or she is trusting. You trust them enough. And like them enough and have enough relationship, that comfort level.
Right. And what I call the rigors of service. So we all know, okay, if you're marching and carrying a heavy 30-pound or 50-pound rucksack and you're jumping out of planes, of course your knees are going to hurt. Of course your feet are going to hurt, right? But there's more to it than that. You've got to know, again, which questions to ask and which other medical conditions that you want to I have a list. Like, these are the things that I'm going to always ask you about because these are the things I know you're not just going to come up and tell me. Yeah. So I have to, and then they go, I didn't even know that was abnormal. Yeah, baby, you don't have to deal with that all the time. Yeah, you should, we can help you with that.
Yeah, we can help. You've been dealing with something, like you said, that you don't have to deal with. So, Nicole, what can vets do to get the benefits they need and are entitled? So I know they could come to you. So what is it? What do they say? How does that process work for them to get what they need?
So I've got Abundant Life Concierge, of course, is my medical practice. And I have an arm of Abundant Life that's called Abundant C&P. It's the word abundant and the letter C, ANDP. Of course, there's abundantcnp.com, and you can go there. And then you can fill out the intake information. You can speak with our intake coordinator, and we can then get you a consultation. We can get you a health visit. I am just now opening up too with Abundant Life Concierge, where I'm doing veterans health care. So I've got a special arm of the practice where I'm just seeing veterans and veterans only. And so you can get your health care visits done. You can get mental health care. We do have a mental health team as well, through No Shame Counseling as well. And Miss Tina is excellent. She works with veterans with trauma, with doing PTSD, with EMDR, all these things. And so we have a whole team to really focus on whole person veteran healthcare. That's mind, body, spirit, and finances.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And they can just either go to the website or give you a call if they need more information.
So, yes, the number specifically for our veterans is 803-543-2913. That'll get you to our intake coordinator, Miss Cora. It's just Miss Cora for right now. So if you don't catch her, then leave a message. But 803-543-2913. Or you can go on our website, abundantcnp.com. Also, of course, the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Abundant CNP are our pages as well.
And people can see that information on the screen if you want more information. If you are a veteran, or if you know a veteran that needs some help with their benefits, with their health care, please give Dr. Nicole Edwards a call, or email her, or, hit her up on social media. She has been very successful in getting veterans the help, the benefits that they need and deserve, and she can do the same for you. We talked a little bit about your book. It's called Navigating Choppy Waters, a guide to understanding and maximizing veterans' disability claims. Does it cover some of the things, kind of the how-to and whys that you talked about today, Dr. Nicole?
Not only the how-tos and whys, but it also gives a little bit of insight as to, I worked directly for the VA, and I saw a lot of things that I didn't like. I was actually really scared to write this book because I let some of those secrets out of the bag in this book.
Wow.
Some of the stuff I didn't like to see. I didn't like to see how veterans were getting done wrong. And I put that in the book. I was really scared to write the book, but I put it in there. So yeah, all of the inner workings, all the secrets, all the background stuff of when I worked directly for the VA is there in the book as well. And yeah, it's there. And I want to give away a couple copies if that's okay.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. We want to give you and a couple of people the book, Navigating Choppy Waters. I mean, like Dr. Nicole said, it's not only the who, what, where, when, and why. It is, it uncovers, as she says, some information that some shady stuff that was going on, that is going on, probably still going on. And I was going to ask that. I mean, why aren't they getting what they need? But I digress. So if you want to, like I said, because people are coming out of the service and they're thinking, I've given my time, my years to the country, I'm going to get everything I need. And they're just not. They're just not.
They're not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So how can people get the book, Dr. Nicole?
So if you go and you like and follow my Facebook page, or we got Facebook, we've got YouTube, and we've got Instagram. And so I'm going to give the first 3 people who go and they like the page, and you have to write, I saw this on Coping. All right. So you have to say something about seeing this on Coping. Then I will send you, of course, an instant message. I'll get your information, your address, and I will send you a copy of the book. So the first 3 people on Instagram, first 3 people on Facebook, and the first 3 people that like the page on YouTube. So 9 books I'm going to give away.
Yeah.
So if you like the page, and then write that you saw it on Coping, so put it in the comments, then I will send you a copy of the book.
All right. Go to Dr. Nicole's page on Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. And is the page listed under you? Can they do it under you or the business?
They can find it on Dr. Nicole D.O., but you can also find it on Abundant C and P.
Okay.
C and P. Yeah. It's
Abundant C and P and Dr. Nicole D.O. Like the page, say that you saw it here on Coping, and she will hook you up with a copy of the groundbreaking book, Navigating Choppy Waters, a guide to understanding and maximizing veterans' disability claims. Nicole, this is some big stuff that you are doing, and it's important. It's so important and so very needed. So thank you so much for giving back to our community, the veterans community, because these, like I said, are services they need and also deserve. For more information, once again, about Dr. Nicole, if you are a veteran or if you know a veteran that needs her services, her medical services, she also has a team, as she said, that does mental health. And even more importantly, she can help you get the benefits that you need. You can see the information on the screen. Nicole, thank you again so much for joining us today, and for, like I said, all you're doing for the veterans community. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all veterans for your service.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nicole. All right. So listen, if you have a story or initiative that could help someone cope, please email booking at copingwithtreatailor.com, booking at copingwithtreatailor.com. If you have a product or service that can help someone cope, please email copingwithtreatailor.com. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. They sponsor Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping. We're also sponsored by Computers Unique Dutch Square Mall, the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office, Attorney Byron Gibson, Javis Tax Services, Black Pages Black Expo, and Palmetto Media Connections. As always, we leave you with a spiritual reading. It's November 11th, and Jesus says today, do not let any set of circumstances intimidate you. The more challenging your day, the more of my power I place at your disposal. You seem to think that I empower you equally every day, but that's not so. Your tendency upon awakening is to assess the difficulties ahead of you, measuring them against your average strength. This is an exercise in unreality. I know what each of your days will contain, thank God, and I empower you accordingly. The degree to which I strengthen you on a given day is mainly based on two variables: the difficulty of your circumstances and your willingness to depend on me. Thank you, God. Try to view challenging days as opportunities to receive more of my power than usual. Look to me for all that you need and watch to see what I will do. As your day, so shall your strength be. Man, oh man, that's such good stuff. God will give you what you need when you need it based on what you need. Good grief, Charlie Brown. That was good. All right, listen, thank you again so much for joining us on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you. Blessings to you for your service. And please don't forget to wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. COVID's still out there, y'all, and it's a real thing.
Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success, for improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive. Ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do. 6 ways to a better you.